right, everybody, it's another episode of the Reserve Man Podcast. I'm Jake Brown. I got with me GP.
Always appropriate.
Shagari.
What's up?
What's up, Stan?
Whoa, what's good?
And we got a great episode for you today. We gotta talk about the college cheating scandal.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Hey, Becky, what's up, baby?
Full house, baby.
What do you do if someone calls your woman out of her name?
A lot.
And if you don't do anything, are you still the boyfriend?
Nope. You gotta move on.
And fellas, we got a few sports topics for you. And we're gonna talk about that and so much more right after this.
You know your credit score bad. That's solid quality time. Right. Why is Steve Harvey still writing books? Wait a minute. If I want you, I ain't taking you to Waffle House at 2 a.m. You bullshit. Hey, look, I care about you. We going to Waffle House.
Alright, everybody, we're back with another episode for you today. We here working hard on steak and blowjob day.
Wait, time out. They ain't come out.
I can't, man, probably should have thought that through a little better.
Yeah, man, what I would have said is we out here working hard, missing out on steak and blowjob day.
Okay, yeah, whatever. Point is, by the way, if you have not, stop what you're doing. Go whatever way you're listening to us. A lot of people using the Apple Podcast. Subscribe and share it with a friend. We appreciate your support. You know, we keep trying to come out with content that you guys like. So make sure that you continue to, spread us around. And make sure y'all come out to, what, fellas?
Biscuits and bourbon.
It's on May 19th, y'all. We out of the early tickets, right? The
early reserve access.
Yeah.
We still might have some early general admission tickets.
Now we got general admission. That early bird VIP access. That's sold out.
We still have regular reserve access tickets.
Yeah.
The regular price, you missed out on the early bird price. It was gone same day.
Man,
You're bad.
It went fast.
Hey,
Man,
when you getting bottomless mimosas and tons of food, then it's gonna go fast. It's gonna go fast for that price.
Which lets me know this event about to be real lit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. We got a great show for you today. Man, we're going to dive into this college cheating scandal. What's up, Aunt Becky? What is going on?
Hurt my heart, man. One of my favorite sitcoms, man. Hey, Becky, let me down.
That doesn't surprise me.
I love Full House, man. What you mean?
One of your favorite sitcoms?
I mean, it's top 10.
Full House was
kind of
nice,
toward the
but
bottom.
favorite?
It's in my top 10. It's in my top 10.
10?
Top 10.
Ooh.
I love Full House.
Top 10 all time?
Top 10 sitcoms. It might be toward the back of the 10, but I love Full House.
And I'm gonna remind y'all, he don't like Martin.
No, I like Martin. I just thought Family Matters was better.
He ain't watched The Wire.
Hey,
He
man.
just started Game of Thrones. He don't watch Marvel movies.
Hey, man, look, y'all gonna let me be great with my TV show selection. I like what I like.
You be something.
Power.
I don't know about great.
30 and 30. What was
Hey,
it?
man, don't disrespect 30 for 30s. They're great.
I'm not disrespecting them.
They're great.
I'm not
Great
disrespecting
content, man.
All
Everybody
right,
watching 30 for 30.
Let's get to the topic, man.
So, we got William Singer, who is like the CEO
The mastermind.
of a college admissions prep company called The Key.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my understanding.
He had the key, all right.
Oh, he was the key.
What the DJ Khaled song?
So this dude was setting it up for people to cheat on the SAT and the ACT.
Right.
He was funneling bribes to supposedly to Division I coaches, so they could pump up their kids' admission essays, and this is crazy, man. But is it really that bad to y'all? Like for a parent, I'm not talking about Mr. Singer right now. I'm talking about the parents. If you had an opportunity to get your child into one of these schools, and all you had to do was pay some money under the table.
Well, I got to bring them up because I would do it,
Mm-hmm.
but I think what they did was kind of egregious. Like I wouldn't have my kid. Like in one article I read, they said that singer asked he told the kid that was very affluent to write an essay as if he had a single mother and he was poor.
Yeah,
but
he was single was out of line for that.
But the kid was struggling because he didn't know how to write an essay as if he was poor because he ain't poor.
Like he don't know how to be poor.
He was like, I mean, what is it like in Walmart?
That boy in the Whole Foods and above, man.
That boy probably was like, I had to rub 2 nickels together to get my Louboutin shoes.
And then, lying to college, like, I'm not going to tell my, go to a college coach to go put them on the rowing team or the soccer team and they ain't never did that in their life. Like, to me, that's going a bit far. But what I pay or what I use, whatever resources or pool I have to give my kids a better shot at getting into a prestigious university, if I felt they could handle the workload, then yeah, I would do that. Because I do know that people talk about grade point average and ACT and this, that, and the other, but at the same time, an ACT score or SAT score is not indicative of your success in college.
Not at all.
I know tons of people who didn't do that necessarily well in the ACT, but they did very well in college.
Killing it now.
So
and the vice versa.
Well, yeah, that's something else entirely, standardized testing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's not indicative. Like, to me, what's more indicative is something like, what you take to be a lawyer, or, what the CPA exam or something like that. Because those are focused on what you studied for a certain amount of time.
Well, yeah,
the ACT, thing. I mean, it's just a wide variety of information that you've learned, but it's not like focused on anything.
It's the same thing. The bar exam is a comprehensive test of everything that you studied and some things you haven't studied up to this point to show that you're competent to practice law.
Right.
Whereas the LSAT,
right.
I can't tell you how that helped me at all.
Right.
Other than just being a barrier in my way to get into law school.
Exactly. And see, so
a lot of schools dropping it now, huh?
The LSAT?
Nah,
that I know.
As far as I know, you still got to take it.
Nah, it's maybe some schools, but so when it comes down to that, like I didn't have a big issue with the whole SAT, ACT thing because I've seen, I knew people when I went to high school with that were very good students, but they just struggled on the ACT and the SAT, and they took the prep courses and stuff like that. And if you put out a 24 or 25, you're not getting into Brown or one of these other Yale or Princeton. It's not happening. I don't care if you got a 4.0.
Right.
It's not happening. So if that was a situation with my kid, I'm going, especially being a black person, I'm gonna give them every shot.
I mean,
as long as I feel that they could compete once they got there. Like I'm not gonna say if my kid just ain't that smart, I'm not gonna be like, baby, I'm gonna get you into Yale and then you just make it happen from there. Because I'm gonna have to keep finding ways to support.
You would have been better giving her that $500,000 and say go start a business.
Name would have been.
Nah, she ain't that smart. I don't know. I'm gonna have to.
Stan would have to see the business plan, the spreadsheets.
The funniest thing to me was the professional test takers they had on deck for him. Like one
sitting right next to you.
Sitting right next to him. But did you see the article where there was a dude taking tests for girls? Like, how you gonna fake like you a girl?
No, he didn't fake. They were all bribed.
I know the proctor was bribed too, but you going to take a test for girls as a man.
Hey man, I got to be real with you.
You good.
I ain't mad at none of this. I ain't mad at none of this. If it were me and I had that money and I could use that money to give my kid a chance to go to one of these prestigious schools, I'm doing it, man. I feel like anybody who mad at this and bought a bootleg DVD in their life is a hypocrite.
I wasn't really mad about the money so much. I was offended at the pretend like you a poor kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, all right. That's a little bit egregious, but just yeah, it's bad. But just as a rich person, you shelling out money and trying to get the hookup to get your kid in school, I'm not mad at that at all.
But at what lengths are we talking about? If you go to the average rich person way and you donate money directly to the school,
right,
and you get a good letter of recommendation from somebody connected to the school, then you be fine.
And what about you using up all the athlete scoring and the athlete placement? Because, they give athletes a little, they have a little lower standards for athletes because of their workload and stuff. But you qualify grade. You don't qualify grade-wise. You go take this person's scholarship. Scholarship placement is gone.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't thinking about that because he don't think about rowing as a sport.
I mean, to me, that's an activity. It ain't no damn sport.
Somebody that honestly went hard at rowing need this scholarship to go to Yale. That's their only chance to go to Yale.
That's not easy.
I'm not saying it. I didn't say it was easy.
That's their only chance to go to Yale. But somebody don't bought your place.
Hey man, but if it's my
didn't need it.
But if it's my kid,
it wasn't on the squad.
But
they wasn't on the team.
If it's my kid, I'm gonna do whatever it takes.
Well, I don't know, bro. I don't think you're gonna go that far.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Up on the road team, they not even rowers.
I mean, the water polo when he told him, he told him that's a good picture, but nobody gets that high out the water.
Wrong. If I'm worth 9 figures, I'll be like, look, I'm gonna slide y'all this $100,000. Y'all take care of my child. Just get her into school. You know what I'm saying? Get him into school, whatever it might be. I wouldn't necessarily be against that, but what some people are saying is that it teaches laziness and telling the kids that they don't have to work hard, this, that, and the other. And while I can see that being true in some cases, especially with some of these celebrities' kids, because I know one girl was saying she just wanted to go to USC get the party. And that's all she said. And she had made a video about it. So, I just wanted to go, school the party.
There was the same chick that was like, I've never was interested in sports.
Yeah, same one. So, in those cases, yeah, that's very egregious. But I think of it from, I guess, my socioeconomic status currently. I would say I'm somewhere in the middle class, And if I had a child that who was smart, that might have just didn't have one thing was keeping them out of getting to the school they wanted to be in, and I could help them get there, like whether if it's my son, it was Morehouse or something like that. Because I'm sure, I know black folks are mad and they're bringing up racial undertones in the whole admission system for academics, but black people do the same thing with some of these prestigious HBCUs too. So it's not like they all the doors are just wide open for everybody with these private schools.
Sutton had a pay for grade scandal.
Yeah, I remember that. I just feel like, number one, like everything.
And to me, that's worse.
Yeah.
Everything that happens is not like a race issue. I feel like black people kind of do that a little too much.
Well,
I don't think this is a race issue.
But I think it highlights issues in the academic system when you look at, all right. So we know
it's obvious issues. I agree with that.
We know this is a widespread issue,
right?
And we shouldn't focus just on this. Like, to me, that's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Legacy stuff is an issue.
Agreed.
Being able to just go, buy a building, because you're rich, and then get your kid in school. To me, that's all unfair advantages that black people or minorities can't really take advantage of.
Now, is that a race issue or is that a classist issue?
It's a class issue, but you didn't discriminate against a bunch of colored people.
Look, it's primarily a socioeconomic issue, but when you start talking about socioeconomics, who do you
going into race?
You can't ever talk about that without going to see how everybody got the money to begin with.
Now, okay, so I agree with that, but if I'm in those people's shoes, the parents that did it,
mm-hmm.
right? You're not really trying to think about all the effects it has on anybody else. You just like, hey man, I need to do whatever I can to give this child, my child, the best opportunity out there, even if it's under the table. I don't think that's like, while it's illegal. And they got caught. They gotta suffer the consequences.
Well,
I don't think he's calling anybody racist. I think he's just saying you have to consider the full impact,
okay,
including the one that it has on minorities.
Yeah, it's a bigger impact when you think about the whole system in totality. You know what I'm saying? It just highlights like how unfair the whole system can be, and that's why I say, as a black person, being that the system is the way it is. If I have an opportunity to get a guarantee to get my child into a school, and I feel like they can survive in that school, I'm doing it.
Right. Okay.
Because I already know the odds are stacked against you already just to get into the school.
Which was the whole reason behind affirmative action programs and diversity programs.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely
first
agree
place.
that the system needs
Now,
adjustments.
Now, I'll say this. I do agree with you in the sense that I'm not necessarily all that mad
at the parents.
At the parents. What I would be mad at them for is like, hey, you might need to raise your kids better.
Right.
Or your kids shouldn't be as lazy or entitled, this, that, and the other. But I think that any parent would do whatever it takes to try to ensure that their kid's future success. Even if you go down to the elementary level where you have black parents going to jail for saying that they live in a different area, a zip code, or have a different address to get their kid into a better school. So you know what I'm saying?
I agree with you on the.
To
I
me,
agree with you on the fairness
Let's
of the system.
Now,
I agree with 100% on that.
The white folks, they need to go to jail since the black folks went to jail too.
Now let's get to the meat of it though. Nobody mad that people paying for get their kids to school. They mad because the school didn't get the money. That's what it all boiled down to. But the way they did it, because if you look at it, affluent people have been paying for their children's educations through legacy costs at these prestigious universities. If you got bread and you went to that school, your child guaranteed to get in. Donate a building. Donate a fund.
But what I don't see schools doing, you opening up a federal investigation pretty much on your school by trying to rat them out. Like, I don't see schools being like...
It's not a direct quid pro quo when you do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like, oh, just so happened to donate a library.
And see, and the school can be like,
You know,
that's why we do it like this, because you don't get hit up for racketeering. We don't get hit up for racketeering when you come through us. See, you should have came through us. You paying somebody else.
See, it's more like it's understood. In that situation, they don't have no. Now, if they had a recording where they say, look, you want your kid to get in school, you're going to have to donate this library.
Right.
Yeah, it's just thank you for the law.
We appreciate your contribution.
Little Thurston Howell III will get in.
Well, yeah, you might.
You give a whole privileged name.
Nah, I think about it. You got a
Thurston.
You got a point. I mean, I think I can agree with that.
They've been going with it, so y'all just cut out the middleman and y'all got caught.
But I guess what I'm focusing on is the people, all these news commentators, and all the people I see on Instagram and social media, that to me, like, they fake mad. Like, people act like they outraged, but I'm like, dog, you probably would do. You might not go to these extremes.
But you would do the same thing. Come on, man.
Like, it's not that you wouldn't just not do something if you could get your kid into a school, whether it was just paying $1,000 or paying $10,000 or whatever you could afford or whatever, even if it wasn't financial, just whatever pool that you had, if you could use it to better your kid's future.
Man, but I ain't about to take.
You the father.
But no, I ain't about to take little Timmy chess scholarship if Ty don't play chess. I
just said not to that extent. But if Ty had an option to get into Harvard, and let's say he just didn't have that 30 ACT,
mm-hmm.
but
you could word.
But I also think some of that's about perspective, because I think a lot of people who come from a place where you didn't have wealth believe more in earning your way. Like, I personally, if my kid don't have what it takes to get into Harvard, that's his fault.
But again,
then I don't see it as a disadvantage for him to go somewhere that's not Harvard.
And I agree with that. And I wouldn't put my kid into a situation that I don't think they're prepared for.
Yeah.
But again, you not getting to Harvard doesn't mean that you're not Harvard material.
Mm-hmm.
Again, ACT and SAT scores are not indicative of your success in the school. So that's one of the biggest things in this case.
Well, what if it's GPA?
No, I'm not gonna agree with that. If you saying his GPA is terrible and he don't got the scores, all right, cool. He probably don't belong here. Even if he could find a way to be successful at the school, most likely he don't belong here because he hasn't done the work in high school.
Lazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you got a 3.8 and you just got a 22 or 23 on your ACT, I'm not going to automatically assume that you're not Harvard or Yale or some other prestigious university material. Like, I'm not going to assume that because I don't think an ACT test or the GMAT or the LSAT is indicative of how you will fare once you get into a college.
I agree.
I don't know, man. I hear this, and I hear rich people hook up all over this, and I just feel like there's, for all the people that's mad at this and all the people that's mad at the parents for what they did, I feel like I've never met a person that didn't accept some sort of hookup in some sort of way, shape, or form.
It's a little different from going to the DVD man instead of the theater.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little different, but at the same time, is it that much different? Or is it just on a bigger scale? Because I mean, I don't have $500,000 to give to anybody to do anything, But maybe to some of these rich people that got $500,000 just laying around that they can.
But didn't you just hear all that he was just saying?
But
look, the stakes are different.
But I don't think
your ability to get into this university may have
that 500,000. That 500,000 graduating from Harvard Law. Your kid will make that back in 2 years. Mm-hmm. Your kid will make that back in 2 years.
Right. So
you're gonna get a return on your investment.
No, but what I'm saying is, I don't. Somebody made the point. I think it was Shagari about the perspective of these people. You thinking from a parent's perspective. A parent.
But any parent would think. But ain't rich or poor. Any parent would think.
Any parent would think about that. So while I agree with you that it's a bigger system issue, I'm not mad at the parents at all.
It's not different. I don't think it's any differently than a poor black parent saving up their life savings and giving it to their child for the chance to make it.
Yeah,
the rich people just can afford to pay for it.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Right.
I'm not mad at the parents at all.
I gotta say, I just think the egregiousness of what they did in this case went a little bit too far. Mainly with the sports scholarships and stuff like that. People cheat on the ACT and SAT. People.
Man, that boy was making that loop.
I gotta be real with you, man. Like, if they told me I could go to school for free and I gotta act like I'm on a rowing team.
But see, to me, I don't know, bro. That to me, okay. Let me say this. You had a child.
All right.
GP the third.
GP3. I like it.
And your child was a 2.5 student.
All right.
And he's talking about, or she's talking about, Daddy, I want to go to Yale. And you a multi-millionaire. You gonna get you knowing that your child's not necessarily the best student, and she got like a 20 ACT.
She got a 2.5 and a 20.
You gonna be like, baby, I'm gonna get you a Yale.
I'm gonna be like, baby, yeah, for you.
So let's change this into something that you do recognize. So you would pay for your child for the coach to say that your child was on this championship basketball team,
And never picked up a ball in his life.
He never played ball ever. Or football. Whatever you prefer. Like,
okay.
You pay a coach to say that so that they could.
Coach got paid $400,000.
Yes. If I got the money, absolutely. I would do that. Absolutely.
Now, put it on the other side. Your child had the chance to go to Yale or Harvard on a basketball scholarship. But little Johnny
bought the last
scholarship.
Hey, I would be mad at the school and the program for allowing that to happen, but I'm not gonna be mad at the other parent. He had the resources. He did what he had to do for this kid.
All right.
That's how I would look at it.
He would be furious.
I would be furious, but I wouldn't be furious at little Johnny Daddy.
You going to get everybody. You going to get Johnny Daddy.
I'm going to get the coach. I'm going to get the athleticism, the athletic director. I'm going to get the whole program. But little Johnny Daddy, you did what you had to do, cuz.
Dog, you really just beat on your chest?
I did, man. I was feeling it.
Okay. Well, all right, everybody. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more right after this.
You know your credit score bad. I'm not trying to on the star, but that's solid quality time. Right. Why is Steve Harvey still writing books? Wait a minute. So if I want you, I ain't say you to Waffle House. That's where you go. You bullshit. Hey, look, I care about you. We going to Waffle House.
All right, y'all, we're back. Man, I know y'all have seen this little video going around on social media lately. So there's a young lady, and she hops in the car with her phone recording, and she tells the dude that somebody called her a bitch. Okay, and she's like, "So what you gonna do about it?" And the guy looked out the car, looked at the guy, and then he kind of started, try to come up with excuses. So, oh man, that dude got on Air Forces. So it brought up the question.
Black Air Forces in that.
It brought up the question, like, what should be expected of a guy to do in that situation, and should there be repercussions if he doesn't do anything?
Man, first off, you gotta do something. You can't save yourself. The only person that can save you is your girl.
Yeah.
But you gotta act like you gotta act like you about to do something.
You gotta be prepared.
Yeah. So either you doing it,
yeah,
or you about to do it,
yeah,
and she saved you.
Yeah.
That's the only options you got.
So your girl got to give you the out.
She need to see that you was gonna do it.
Right. That you was gonna lose your life.
You just gotta pray that you got a sensible baby.
Right. But at the same time, I mean, I think you just gotta gauge the situation. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Well, yeah. I mean, if there's 7, 8 dudes standing there,
right,
looking like they might have guns and stuff.
Right. If you got 7, 8 dudes standing there and they look like they got guns in their waistbands, your girl get in the car asking about what you gonna do. I'm leaving you.
It's time to get rid of her.
I'm leaving you.
Exactly.
You don't value us.
Yeah.
I was about to ask, y'all in a situation and your girl still expects you. Well, let's say it ain't 7 guys. Say it's 2 dudes. Or say it's a guy that's 6'5", 300 pounds. Do you look?
I mean, you can't afford, like, okay, in this particular scenario, this is the thing that's tripped me out. It'd be one thing if y'all was somewhere and you witnessed somebody calling your girl out of her name.
Wait, where you going with this?
But he was in the car already.
So you saying he ain't got no evidence?
No, I'm not saying at all. But for her to come tell you that this happened and expect you to go get out the car and then go do something, to me is a little egregious.
No, I find that stupid. That's crazy, boy.
How's that crazy?
Because let somebody call my girl out her name and she don't tell me. Me and her gonna have problems.
But what I'm saying is,
you saying because since you ain't see it.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
He's saying.
What I'm saying is
his girl
the situation that happened. So for her to expect you to go and recreate the situation, to me, is a little bit egregious.
But I think in that situation, it happened pretty soon. It wasn't like 10 minutes had passed.
I do agree in the sense that since she did bring it to you, you got to be willing to do something.
You saying she should never bring it at all?
I'm just saying that she shouldn't expect you to get out to leave the car and then go fight the people. I don't think that's level headed.
Where's the chivalry?
Gee, I think he lying.
I don't think that's level headed.
Okay, so if some little 5'5", 150 pound dude called your girl out her name, look, and she came to you even 10 minutes later, and you saw this dude. You not about to square up?
Well, let's
just say the woman in question is Sadie. Your sister.
I don't care.
I'm gonna say
you
drive Covington behind your sister right now.
Hey, look.
This must be a girl you don't care about.
You will walk out the podcast right now. Say the call. You say this dude disrespecting me.
Well, look. It doesn't matter if the dude 5'5" or 6'5", 7'5". That don't matter. But what I'm saying is, if she expect you to go do something about this, I feel like that's a little bit childish.
So wait, hold up. So are you saying, because that's slightly different from what you was just saying. So are you saying that she shouldn't bring it up at all?
No.
Or are you saying that if she doesn't stop you from having to go do something?
The moment passed, so she shouldn't have brought it up.
No, I didn't say that. But I said if she expect me to get out the car and go fight people behind that, I think that's a little bit high schoolish, in my opinion. Now you should be able to bring to me whatever you want to bring to me, and if you're a woman that I love and care about, of course that's going to infuriate me. But if you want to bring some stuff to me with the sole intention that I go fight people, to me that's childish.
Well, that's not an intention. What if it was a traumatic moment for her, and she got back in the car and just wanted to tell you about it?
Well, I mean that's cool. I have no issue with that. I'm just saying, if you telling me with the intent to sick me on people,
I don't know.
That to me that's not.
I think you got to do something to defend your girl honor at some point.
I'm not saying I don't, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't want to. But what I'm saying is, if you will come bring that to me with the intentions of me going to fight somebody, that's childish.
What if you walking with her?
If I'm walking with her, then I have the right to react like I need to react. If I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you come to me and just be like, hey man, this is what happened. I need you to go fight these people. Man, we 30 plus.
Not
what you mean?
What if she don't bring it to you with the intentions of wanting
I don't have a problem with her telling me what happened. Matter of fact, I encourage that.
But you wouldn't know. Like, she might have the intention, but she might not.
She might not say fight them, but you gotta act like you want to fight.
I mean, of course I'd be upset. I don't even have to act like that. If that's a woman I care about, I'm gonna be mad.
So
does she? Does she not even have a right to expect you to want to defend
George
her
say
owner?
she shouldn't even brought it up. She childish.
That's not what I said.
that's not. Yeah, he didn't say that.
That's not what I said.
I'm asking. So she can't even have like. She can't even want you to get upset. Like,
I mean, she should. I'll be upset. I mean, she don't have to want me to be upset. I'm already be upset. But what I'm saying is, if she bring that to me and her intention is for me to get out and fight people, to me that's high schoolish. That's all I'm saying.
okay.
Now, obviously, if we have the type of relationship that I would want to have, you should be open to bring me certain things, and that's gonna make me mad. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. But if your sole purpose is for me to go fight people, well, listen, then you need to go sit at a high school football game and fight the rival team.
I don't think that's necessarily that realistic, because I don't think you must be dealing like a little ratchet chick if she's telling you she gets in the car, tells you what happened, and then it tells you to go fight somebody.
I think that's how it went in the video, didn't it?
She asked him what he gonna do, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, but
that's the intention. That's the impression I got from the video.
But that was also a comedy sketch.
Yeah,
really.
Okay.
I think in reality, I don't think it necessarily would go like that.
I don't think a woman our age is gonna be like, you.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
But she might not verbalize it.
That's what I'm saying.
But in her head,
I think she's
she
gonna
don't want you to do something.
Yeah.
Even if it's not going to physical blows with somebody, even if you gotta check them verbally, I don't think she's expecting you not to do anything.
Right,
just drive off.
I'm cool with that. I'm just saying, if you telling me with the intent for me to go fight people at 30 plus, that's childish. But of course, I'm gonna want to defend my person.
Right.
I mean, y'all hit the nail on the head when y'all said like the example y'all gave. If that was Sadie, I'd be mad at that.
I have to let your woman know. If he don't love you at least as much as he loves Sadie, then
you ain't the one.
You can hang it up.
Yeah. Give it up.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. I think you just need a sound woman that can judge the situation.
And I agree with that.
Well,
And that's all I'm really trying to get across. I'm not saying that you shouldn't defend your woman or anything crazy like that. I'm not saying that shouldn't bother you or anything like that. All I'm saying is, if she has the intention of me just going to fight people at 30 plus, behind that, if that's what she wants to make me go fight somebody,
sometimes it might have a reasonable expectation for you to do that. If that crime is so egregious, if he don't, repeatedly calls your girl, like he don't slap her.
Like somebody slapped
I mean, that's different. If somebody slap her,
6'5",
you I don't give a damn.
6'5", 250, you gotta fight.
I don't care. I don't care if he's 7'5", 380.
You gotta.
I'm gonna fight him.
So
now I might pick up something and fight him, but I'm gonna fight him.
But the thing is, I don't know, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
So you saying it's okay? Not okay.
No, I didn't say it was okay.
I'm not saying you're saying it's okay, but essentially you're saying it's okay not to have the expectation that you have to go fight if he calls her out her name. But if the guy puts his hand on her, then it's okay to have the expectation that you have to fight.
Assault is assault. Verbal or physical.
Well, what I'm saying is, I'm gonna react the way I need to react. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Now,
whatever that means.
What I'm saying is this: if we walking and somebody calls my girl a bitch, that's an instant problem. I would, y'all know me, y'all been knowing me for a long time. Y'all can see that's gonna be a problem. It just is what it is.
Okay.
Somebody touch my girl. That's gonna be a problem. If she don't have to say or expect nothing, it's just gonna be what it is.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, I was referring to the original video. In the original video, if something happened to where she said they called me a bitch, and she's telling me about it, and she's expecting me to get out the car and go fight somebody because of that, I just think that's childish. That was my only premise.
Okay.
You wouldn't roll up on a dude and be like, apologize?
Absolutely.
That's unreasonable.
No, I said absolutely.
What if she just want that? She just wants you to get the dude to respect her.
I'm fine with that. That's cool.
What if it comes to terms where he start bad talking you and you just gotta fight?
Hey,
she didn't expect you to fight, but it just don't went there.
I'm fine with that. That is what it is. Happen.
I think I gather what you're saying, brother.
That's all I'm saying.
Look, I get it. I'm gonna leave it alone.
I get it, but I think either way, I'm just gonna have to catch. I'm gonna call my girl bluff. I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be mad, and if she, you know,
well, you gonna be mad anyway.
If she counter bluff me and be like, yeah, go get him. I'm just gonna have to take that L for my girl honor, bro.
Well, I think first of all,
it ain't no guarantee L. First of all,
no, I'm just saying. But y'all said 2'5". I mean 6'5", 250. I ain't guaranteed to lose. But if I lose, I'd rather lose defending my girl than lose to not even try.
You can't be like
ain't no
you can't be like
ain't no if your girl just look at you like this dude won't even fight for me and she just look at you like a punk, then you know I'd rather my girl just be like, damn, he got his ass whooped for me.
To be honest, you get knocked out is better than you like, well, babe, we not, you know, I'm just not gonna do it.
So let's say it's your wife,
all right,
and a guy called out a name, and she felt it was so egregious, and she came back to you and said, "You need to go handle this." You could be like, "You childish."
No,
you gotta handle it. You gotta go handle it. You have no choice but to handle it.
I would say,
you have no choice but to handle it. I mean, you don't have no choice.
She's telling you go handle it, so she expects you. So you think, but you just said it's childish.
You have no. What I'm saying is, if she expects me to fight somebody behind,
I just said that.
You just said it's
different. It's different.
It's the same thing.
If you expect me to go handle the situation,
girlfriend or wife.
If you handle the situation and fight is not necessarily the same thing. We grown people. We grown people.
Look.
Now if I go have words with these people and we end up getting in a fight, then it just is what it is.
The girl in the video said, "What you gonna do?" That don't necessarily mean he gonna go fight.
I don't know, man. I felt like I'm just saying.
Looking for outs.
If you have the intentions on me fighting somebody,
bro, it ain't even necessarily a fight. You roll up on a dude and be like, "Man, what you call my bad, dog? I ain't even know she was your girl, ma'am. I apologize." That your girl gonna be, you know, she gonna be good with that right there. He made this dude apologize.
And that's what I'm saying. This is what it is.
So prior to this, I asked 5 women that I know.
This ought to be interesting.
Like what they thought about the situation, and would he still be your boyfriend if he didn't do anything like this guy in this situation?
80% of them said no, huh?
3 of them said that they wouldn't expect for him to go do anything. You know, one said she wouldn't expect for him to go fight, but she don't know if he still be her boyfriend after. And one said, "Oh, he's gone. If he don't get out there and go take care of it, he gone."
I think them 3 lying. They might think they think like that, but you gonna think differently about a dude that can't defend you.
I think, like Stan said at the beginning, from a rational standpoint, I don't think they actually expect the fight to occur, but I think they want to see that
you willing.
Yeah, that you willing.
And they gotta say they hold you back.
I'm just saying, like, you can't sit there and not wanna not be mad, not be upset. All I'm saying is, if you want me to go fight people just off GP,
so
that's a little childish.
So old boy on the video was like, "You sure he was talking to you?"
Nah, he was a hoe. He was a whole hoe. Like that just is what it is. He was a hoe for that.
That guy? You sure he was?
I guess that was supposed to be the comedy in the whole thing.
Well, what you did to him? What did you say to provoke it?
Yeah, I guess that was the comedy part. Now you can't do that in real life. Like you can't do that.
And I think you do have to take into account the context. You know, if you hop out the car and you looking at 8, 9 dudes standing around talking, and she's still like,
You hop out this 8, 9, 10 off, man. I dropped my wallet.
and she's still like, what you doing? I thought you was gonna go over there.
Y'all saw a wallet, dog. My bad. Bro.
Nah, I mean, you still gotta go say something. You still,
8, 9 dudes?
you still gotta say something.
Nah, you tripping in.
Yeah, you tripping, bro. Cause now
I'm not gonna say nothing to 1, but you gonna go say something to 8 or 9.
Cause now you putting your life.
I never said I wouldn't go say
You
anything.
putting your life in jeopardy.
I never said
Your
that.
girl might leave you for being stupid.
And you putting your woman's life in jeopardy because they gonna be like, just for having to whoop your tail, now we gotta go do something to your old lady.
I'm just saying.
You funny, dog.
Yeah, man, that's fine. Whatever, man. I'm just saying.
You're not about to tell 8, 9 dudes something, dog. As your friend, I
In
would-
Baton Rouge? Nah.
Anywhere, you're not. Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Nah. Especially if you got kids or something, you ain't about to do
You might go drop her off and call some more dudes up.
that.
Hey, I need to go back and handle this.
Like, look, I'll be back. But I ain't going. That's a guaranteed loss that you might not recover from.
Wait, man, y'all get that text about that life?
Hey, that's one thing. I'm here to support you. But
Already, that's all I need
if
to
you
do.
made the decision to go in there by yourself without no backup,
Hey, that's all I need to do.
that's just a dumb decision on your part.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know, ain't gonna be no avenging you.
Right.
If you walked up on 9 dudes and was like, man, what's up? Then I'm gonna be like, you deserve that ass whooping.
Hey, man.
Boy said you ain't about to.
I help you with your bills, son.
Ain't about to be no Liam Nielsen.
But you deserve that one. Yeah. I have a particular set of skills. Oh!
I will find you. I will kill you.
This is maybe one problem, man. Something happened to me, man. Don't airbrush me and put me on a t-shirt, dog.
Nah, I don't.
Yeah, don't do that, man.
We ain't doing that.
Nah,
All right, appreciate it.
that's not my thing.
That's cool.
Some people in my family like to do that.
Yeah, don't put me on the t-shirt, man. Or make a decal for me and put me on the back of the car and no shit like that,
I
man.
ain't
Just
talk about that, man. I
Yeah,
ain't put
you
that in
know.
there.
yeah, man.
Anyway, man, this is interesting. I would love to have a female perspective on this, ladies. So we will be asking y'all and expecting y'all responses. Look out for us on Instagram. That's at The Reserve Man. And we'll be back with more right after this.
You know your credit score bad. I'm not gonna call you on the Starbucks page. That's solid quality stuff. Right. Why is Steve Harvey still writing books? Wait a minute. Like, if I want you, I ain't taking you to Waffle House at 2 a.m. You bullshit. Look, I care about you. We going to Waffle House.
We are back, and we get to talk about one of my favorite topics right now. No, we're not talking about Family Matters. We about to talk a little bit about some sports, man.
This boy said Family Matters.
Hey, man, leave Urkel alone, man. But anyway,
That was Full House.
no, Full House toward the back of the tent, man. Family Matters toward the top, man. Keep up. But anyways, in a blockbuster trade this week, Odell Beckham Jr. got traded from the New York Giants to the Cleveland Browns for a 3rd round and a 5th round
That's
pick.
my new Madden team. I don't know
They got a first round too.
No, you know what? They got a first. I'm thinking of Antonio Brown. My bad. But they did get a first round.
What's it? 3rd and 5th. 3rd and 5th ain't enough. No,
Odell?
But
Odell?
AB got a 3rd and 5th.
They got first and a
AB
third.
31.
Okay, that's real.
Odell like 25.
Odell the highest paid receiver in the league.
But okay, cool. So Odell's in Cleveland.
Come on, sports guy.
Hey man, I got my diva receivers mixed up. My bad.
First and don't forget about Jabril.
And he got Jabril. But what do y'all think about this? What do y'all think about Odell in Cleveland?
I like it because he about to go cut up with his old college teammate Jarvis Landry.
Juice Landry.
Yeah, it's about to be the LSU connection. over
Respect
there.
River Parishes.
You know
Juice
what nobody's
Landry.
talking about though?
What's that?
You already know Juice and Odell gonna do their thing with Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Kareem Hunt, they running back.
I saw that. Like that to me.
People they ain't paying attention to that.
Yeah.
Cleveland
After his suspension.
after his suspension.
Yeah.
But I mean, he gonna come back and
But think about
he might
this
get
though.
a 10 game.
Think about
Come
this.
back the
You think
next-
it's gonna be 10?
Really probably 4.
Now he getting 10. He might get 8. Maybe.
Okay.
Because if you think about it,
I say 4 to 6.
if you think about it,
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Cleveland's gonna be like Cleveland's gonna make the NFL some money. That's gonna be a popular team. They're gonna be on national TV because people like Baker Mayfield. You got Juice Landry and Odell on the edges. You gonna have an explosive offense, and to me, it's gonna benefit the NFL for them to let Kareem Hunt play.
Cleveland deserves this in a way because they sports franchises always let them down.
They do.
You got LeBron playing with their heart forever, walking away multiple times. And let's not even talk about the Indians. The Cleveland Indians been breaking their heart for as long as they've been in Cleveland.
Though I can't tell you last time they won a
The
World
Browns
Series.
has been terrible.
The Browns have been a laughing stock.
Since Jim Brown
They
left.
deserve it, but I still see heartbreak in their future.
Yeah.
It's heartbreak, but this is a little joy after the rain.
Yeah, they're gonna win. I think they're gonna get to the playoffs. But think about how trashy defense about to be.
But they got to be the favorites of the division still.
They might be, but they defense super trash.
I did. Let's watch this draft. Let's see what Pittsburgh do.
I don't know. Pittsburgh.
They still got Ben. They still got a top tier receiver.
They got an agent Ben.
They got better, more experienced coaching.
And they didn't make the playoffs
Last year, right?
They went 9-6-1.
And they
They
didn't make the playoffs.
And I think the Ravens took a step back too, because the Ravens lost Suggs. They lost a bunch of people in their front seven.
Got Earl Thomas.
They do. I mean, but he can't play.
They just saw Suggs. That's it.
I think other than the defense, what's gonna hurt Cleveland is inexperienced coaching.
They should have kept Greg Williams as the head coach.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. That inexperienced coach is gonna cost them.
Yeah, Madden all day, Cleveland.
Oh hell yeah. Well, no, I'm playing with my Saints on Madden, but I feel where you're going.
Well, I hear you.
I feel where you're going, but man,
you ain't never beat me in Madden.
Hey man, that's a lie. I beat you in Madden before. You tripping?
We can fact check.
Man, we could play this tonight. What you mean?
Good. What I'm saying is, you ain't never beat me.
Hey man, I beat you before, man. Stop tripping.
Anyway,
speaking of money and betting and playing.
Oh, Jarrell and Jared Avery.
Some money, $20 a piece.
That's it. $20 a piece for me and Stan. So that's $40 from you, Jarrell, and $40 from Jared.
So now,
Mark Ingram definitely did not make more than $5 million a year, which we thought. He signed a 3-year, $15 million contract with the Baltimore Ravens. Bros, I know Jared. Jay is a Patriots fan. I know you guys are Saints fans.
So if he hit his,
but no, I'm still not ready to get off of that because we were still in Cleveland. And speaking of Cleveland people, we got to talk about one brother that's the biggest hoe of all time from Cleveland.
I know you passionate about this.
LeBron. He saw the OBJ trade.
We can talk about LeBron.
He saw the OBJ trade, and all of a sudden, he's saying trouble in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Ain't you a Cowboys fan, LeBron? How many times did you fly down a private jet to go chill with Jerry?
At this point in the podcast, this is when we just sit back
and let Ruff rant. Yeah.
Continue.
How many times did you go? You city hop. You own to the biggest thing every rip you can. Mm-hmm. Just like you city hopped in basketball. Now you over there destroying my Lakers. I ain't even want you in LA.
I don't necessarily care about LeBron, but he is cool with OBJ. So
being cool with somebody don't make you a fan of the team that you was never a fan of to begin with. I ain't never heard LeBron say no Browns, rep no Browns, ever.
The Browns never won.
Yeah, they were trash.
Because he was a Cowboys fan.
Right. And honestly, he even
made. Think about in LeBron's lifetime.
Yeah.
I think the last time
when we was like infants.
You know what? I think Belichick was the coach last time they went to the playoffs.
Nah, they went to the playoffs in '99.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was once.
No, I think they went later than that. I think they on like a 16 or 17 year drought.
I don't care if the Lakers go another 30 years without winning another championship.
I don't know, dog.
And I'm just saying.
No, that's never happened. You can't say that.
No, I'm saying if the Lakers go another 30 years and never win a championship, and let's just say that the Pelicans win 2 within their time, even though that's my home team, I'm not finna come back to the Pelicans just because, they the hottest thing now.
But the thing about it is, you kind of old school, I think the narrative these days, people not loyal to teams anymore. You got the LeBron hive that's burning jerseys, going to whatever team that LeBron go to, following the team. We never did that. That's just the way it goes. But since you brought up LeBron, what do you make of this Lakers run? Because the Lakers without LeBron last year have the same record.
But wait a minute.
I'm just saying, I'd rather struggle without LeBron than to be losing like this with LeBron. His effort is terrible. He's not adding nothing to the team. He tried to trash everybody so they don't want to play with him. Like, the team morale is down. I would rather it be them young players struggling without LeBron and us have a better chance in the lottery to get somebody that want to add long-term success in there. Because I think LeBron's just there going through the motions. He just want to live in L.A. and be there with his movie company and stuff. And he plays like a big baby. He's not a finisher. He does not have that Kobe or that Jordan mentality. He is a crybaby, and I hate that he went to my Lakers, and I hate that his fans came with him.
What you about to say, Jay?
I don't think that's entirely fair what you said, because the sports has changed.
Mm-hmm. So
You know,
what did I say that wasn't fair?
Finish.
No, I'm asking for clarity.
In
He's about to tell you.
the 80s, the 90s, players spent the majority of their career with one franchise, and then at the very end, when their own franchise didn't want them anymore, they would move somewhere else and be a veteran and try to chase a ring.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now these guys have realized how the franchises are taking advantage of them, and they trying to chase money and rings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, so the fans, you know, people were fans of Chicago that wasn't from Chicago because of Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Michael Jordan then moved to 3 different teams throughout the course of his career.
I can appreciate what you're saying, but some of these dudes still doing some weak stuff. So, for instance, I'm all for the empowerment of players. I'm all for players being able to get as much money as they possibly can. What I am not for, and what I can't respect as a former athlete, is you ducking competition.
No, what I'm saying is, say you became an Oklahoma fan because you like Kevin Durant.
Right.
That was your man.
Right.
Well, when he moved, you didn't stay with Oklahoma because the only reason you was in Oklahoma was because of Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
You know, whereas back in the day, Kevin Durant may have finished out his career in Oklahoma.
Right.
Let me tell you this. That ain't no excuse to me. And you can say it's the generation change. I was still a Lakers fan with Jordan in the league. Jordan was killing stuff. I respect the Jordan game. Jordan's one of my favorite players. But I'm not about to be a Chicago fan just because Jordan there.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, I appreciate what you're saying, but man, like Drew Brees, Sean Payton, all them guys could leave the Saints tomorrow. I'm gonna be a diehard Saints fan. Ain't no other team I'm going to. I roll with my Saints no matter what. I have for about 28, 29 years at this point. That's just what it is.
And that's fine. I mean, in your household, y'all have a tradition of being Saints fans. But people that come from households where there is no tradition, and they make...
Well, damn it, they need to get some tradition.
Okay.
Start some tradition.
Okay. Well,
be a fan of a team, not of a man.
But,
you know what you are if you're a fan of a man and not a team? You're a basketball wife, moving city to city with a man. That's what you are. But you know, you go city to city with that player, you his wife. You are not a fan.
But what I'm saying is, when you first start liking a certain team, it's because of what's there. Like, you don't...
So if Tom Brady went to the Saints, you gonna be a Saints fan? You gonna believe that yourself?
But to say, now when we had your brother on the podcast and he was talking about Tony Eason and Tommy Hudson and them.
He was over there before me. But I do like the Patriots.
Bill Belichick left
from their ownership, the way that they handle things, you know, contract matters. I like all of it. It's bigger than just that. But I am a huge fan of Tom Brady.
And when did you become a Patriots fan?
When they first started winning.
When they got
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe.
And when they played Brett Favre.
Bledsoe came in. That's when I first started.
Well, I remember that Super Bowl. That was 31, New Orleans. I remember that.
Okay.
You know,
They played well.
I mean,
Drew Bledsoe should have a statue.
Mo Lewis should have a statue for knocking Drew Bledsoe the hell out.
What I don't get, people, they won't show loyalty to professional teams, but they'll show loyalty to college teams.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I don't get like, all right, well, I'm going to be loyal to LSU, But I'm just gonna hop around professionally following a particular player.
I can understand that because the players don't move around nearly as often. Like now, you have players transferring more so than they ever did before. But typically, you play your 3-4 years at a school,
and then college is not about it's not about the people. It's about the tradition of the school.
Right.
It's a lifestyle.
People are more invested in college than they are in professional league. Plus,
I agree.
I've become less and less of a fan of football as a whole.
Nah, son. Because,
I want to say this. In football, there's way more loyalty to teams than in basketball. Basketball, they follow individuals because I think it's an individual sport.
Because I'm about to say this, because there are tons of guys, and we all about our LSU athletes. We love LSU football. We're going to cheer them on. But let somebody from LSU be playing against the Saints. Boy, move around. Saints.
Who that all day?
We wish but don't do good against the Saints.
But look, back to LeBron, man.
There's a big investment in college.
No, we just. Hold
on.
No, we was invested in you in college, but when it comes to NFL, that crossover.
We didn't talk about LeBron enough, because we brought up LeBron originally in the sense that what's going on with the Lakers, the fact that he's on track to miss the playoffs for the first time since his second year in the NBA. What do you guys think about LeBron and the situation in LA, and how much of it is his fault? Because lately, since he's come back from injury, he's been talking all this craziness about, throwing shade at his teammates, talking about being part of a winning organization. And I personally feel like he created all this chaos.
Well, I'm going to get my stuff in before Shag go. I think LeBron is a cancer. I think that while he's the most talented player in the NBA, one of the most talented players ever.
Agreed.
Teams have to change everything and cater everything to LeBron. From the coaches to the players. Like the Lakers had a solid foundation of young talent. You know what I'm saying? And all these guys seem like they've regressed playing with LeBron. Because it forces you can't develop with him. Like Kyrie even said it. Kyrie felt like he couldn't really develop into the player he felt like he was destined to be by playing with LeBron, because you can't do anything. You have to cater everything to him. And so people end up they don't like LeBron. I don't think LeBron's that people act like he's so likable and stuff like that. And I think he's a great person off the court. Don't get me wrong, but it seems like a lot of players don't even want to play with LeBron anymore
because he whines on the court.
I agree with that.
But to me, I don't think it's just about whining. It's the fact that you have to change your whole game just to fit his game. It's not about you developing and you being the best player you can be. It's about doing what LeBron wants you to do.
Well, I agree with that, and I also have to add the fact that the whole Anthony Davis thing was botched, and being that him and Rich Paul, Anthony Davis's agent, like they are obviously business partners, and we're kind of going into unprecedented territory because I think the Lakers locker room, because half the team was on the trade block. And I've never seen in history to where you had one player that orchestrated half the team to be traded.
You offering 5 guys for 1 guy.
So how do you play with this man since the trade fell through?
Can't you side him like we was, and you can't say, well, it was LeBron at the front office. LeBron moved the front office.
I agree with that.
LeBron moved the front office, and if LeBron would have been like, we good, let's develop this. We get Anthony when we get Anthony. When he comes out, he wants to be a Laker. He said he wants to be a Laker.
Right.
Wait till that. Wait till his contract up, then sign him as a free agent.
Well, I think it's not new for teams to build around the talents of a specific player. I guess the question is LeBron still that player to do that for? Nobody ever questioned building teams around, scorers like Jordan, like Kobe.
Well,
LeBron is not enough of a team player to me.
Well, I agree with
building
that.
Somebody around
LeBron's
him.
game is different.
We need to get rid of that narrative that LeBron's this ultimate teammate, because people like to use that to slight people like Jordan and Kobe. But also, if you think about this, to your point, Jay, one thing about LeBron that made him so great was the fact that he stayed healthy, he stayed in shape, and he was always this physical specimen. What happened this year?
Look how old he is.
He got hurt. Exactly. And I'm not trying to throw shade at the man for getting hurt, but at the same time, is this man the type of player that you want to be willing to nix your whole roster for to satisfy him when he's breaking down physically or can break down physically over the next couple of years. That's just me.
I mean, I think this was just a fluke. Like, I don't think LeBron's about to have issues like Kobe had once Kobe got really hurt, and then he just was never the same. I don't think this is the case for LeBron just yet. Now, if this is 2 years in a row, I'll give it to you.
But this is the thing.
But I don't think that's going to be the case.
I don't even think they're the same hurt because Kobe came out shooting with a broken hand, broken fingers on his shooting hand.
The mentality is not even a question.
Yeah, it's not the same hurt. You're right. It's not the same hurt. I think LeBron just kind of don't really care.
He don't care. Like,
what we're talking about
y'all saying he's so great, but he's physical, he's dominant, blah, blah, blah.
He a top 5 player of all time.
Well, he is.
Yeah, but his mentality.
But at this point in his career, can you build around him?
He could arguably be the best player of all time, but he don't have the attitude. Like, one thing I loved about Kobe is the Lakers could be down by 40. 2 minutes to go. Kobe gonna be in there playing like they down by 3. He's not gonna go sit on the bench. LeBron gonna go to the bench with 7 minutes left if they down by 10.
I guess what I'm saying is, with the amount of time that LeBron has been in the league and the amount of minutes that he's played, I don't know that he's gonna hold up. You know, like, this is the point where people change their game up a little bit.
Right.
You know, this is the point where you post up and do the fadeaways, like.
And Mike and Kobe did that well.
Well, if you at that point, then that's even more reason that you shouldn't be trying to trade all these young guys away. You should be trying to teach them to do what you do. You should be in there, no little passes and good going Kuzma. And I'm not about to try to trade all y'all away to get Anthony Davis over here so I can get my last 2-3 rings however many I want.
Now, I'm with you on that. But in speaking of young talent, you know, this Alvin Kamara guy was drafted in the 3rd round a couple of years ago to the Saints and has exceeded expectations to the point where, like, Sean Payton gave him a bunch of carries. But in the meantime, the Saints lost Mark Ingram. You know, he ended up signing a deal with the Ravens. So what do y'all think about Mark Ingram and him not being in New Orleans anymore?
So why you get the out of here?
Why, all right, if you wanted $7 million a year from the Saints, why you couldn't keep that chemistry and sign for 15 here?
Nah, he wasn't getting 15 from us.
I don't think it was about.
Well, he asked us for $7 a year.
Yeah, I think he wanted to be the primary ball carrier.
I think he wanted to be the man. That's more than anything.
But I think he would have signed with the Saints if they would have paid him the money.
So he was Rico.
Well, the Saints offered him 4.5, I believe.
I think the Saints got pretty close. I think it was more. He felt like if he stayed with the Saints, he'd be overshadowed by Kamara.
Oh, he was Rico.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I think he wanted to be the man. He was 89 yards short of passing Deuce McAllister for all time leading rusher in Saints history. You know, and I think he wanted to be that guy. But you know, hey man, the system's always been about the passing game and you know, Drew Brees and giving the ball to different receivers, man. Same thing happened to Reggie Bush. He wanted to be a feature back.
System about Kamara.
He had to go.
Now. Kamara can do a lot.
He can, but you know, moving on real quick, guys. You know, obviously our basketball coach at LSU, Will Wade, is facing some trouble, man. He's been suspended for this FBI wiretap. I gotta get y'all guys' opinion about that.
Just him, the whole basketball program is facing trouble.
As long as it ain't football, I don't care.
I mean, it sucks it sucks because LSU was doing extremely well this year, but you know, you got to do your dirt better than that.
Right. They ain't run from the football program.
Yep.
You should have watched Blue Chips.
With Shaq.
Was in.
Shaggy Penny, huh? But anyway, guys, we're going to take a quick break. Excuse me, I can't even talk. We're going to take a quick break. I kind of am. I need a Snickers. But we'll be back with our black prominent figure. That's my Jay Brown impression. But we'll be right back.
You know your credit score, man. I'm not surprised you be on the Starbucks. That's solid quality time. Right. Why is Steve Harvey still writing books? Wait a minute. Like, if I want you, I ain't say you to Waffle House at 2 a.m. Because you bullshit. Hey, look, I care
back with our black prominent figure. GP, who you got for us, brother?
Well, you know it's Women's History Month, so we gotta, support our sisters and give them some recognition this month. And this week we're gonna talk about Shonda Rhimes. She's a brilliant producer, screenwriter, and author. Y'all have all seen Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder. Those are all her works. But most recently, she signed a $150 million deal with Netflix to develop some more shows. So
Them shows gonna be even better.
absolutely.
I just want to expound on that. Even though he said it's Women's History Month, we celebrate y'all all year round, just like we do all African Americans.
Absolutely. But we only talking about women for our black prominent figure in March. No brothers in March. We'll resume with the brothers in April.
All right, bro.
And let's go.
Oh, yeah. I was in deep contemplation about that $150 million. I was just sitting over here thinking about.
How to be stepping?
I was just sitting over thinking about what the Reserve Man would look like on Netflix.
Hey, maybe one day.
What would be a reality show, or would we?
Boris Kojo gonna play Stan?
That's funny.
Oh, man,
That dude from the different world go play Shag, man. The dude with the dreads.
man,
Trying to play me, man?
No, man, I ain't trying to play you, man.
Nah.
we could do all kind of stuff, man. We could do talk shows. We could just do this and have people come in. We could do sketch comedy, like
I don't know. GP ain't that funny.
like Chappelle show.
Hey, man, I'm hilarious.
I can see you being a light skinned Ashley Larry.
Light skin, man, but I use lotion though. I'm always clean.
Look, if you haven't done so yet,
Buy your ticket for biscuits and bourbon.
He wasn't about to say that.
I
He
know.
was about to say follow us.
I'm about to say, please subscribe. While you're at it, follow us on Instagram. That's @TheReservedMan. And yes, tickets going fast. Biscuits and Bourbon. That's on May 19th. We're going to have great food. We're going to have great entertainment. By the way, the food is only if you get your reserve access ticket.
And it comes with bottomless mimosas, so don't miss out.
And along with music, we also will have Infinity photo booth there.
Yes, sir.
Get your pictures taken.
You'll be able to document it and so much more. But we'll be talking about it. Fellas, y'all got anything to say before we roll?
No, we good. Let's go.
All right, we're
LeBron's
out.
still a hoe.
You know your credit score bad. I'm not gonna